Hello everybody and welcome to the first tutorial for my Lasa Shawl series here for my pattern. This is a Tunisian crochet shawl entirely made with this 6mm hook here. This is your regular length of hook, and any hook that you have at handy there, as long as it doesn't have one of those ergonomic handles, this regular length of hook, oh dear, will do just fine for the shawl itself, believe it or not. The shawl is entirely made out of this stunning yarn here. This is Fiberspace's Gleam Lace, that's Gleem. That's the label there, a little bit crinkled from being in my yarn stash, but there we go. And it is the colorway, if you can see there, colorway is Heavenly, and it's around 800 meters in 100 grams, so it's a heavier end of the lace weight spectrum. You will need 1.5 or thereabouts to create the entirety of this shawl, but it can of course also be done with fewer repeats for less yarn, and I've got all the mats in the pattern, which you'll see a link to in the description of this video. So this here is a little overview firstly of the shawl itself, so you know what you'll be making and when you'll be making it. So Lasa is made up of two different charts. The first one will encompass the body of the shawl itself. Everything between my hands here is worked up using the first chart, and then the second chart will constitute this edging here. Now, you may find this hard to believe, but the entirety of the body here is all worked lengthways like so on this little short hook. Now, you may find if your yarn is a little thicker than mine, or if you don't quite like wrestling with your loops quite so much, a bobbin or an elastic band or some sort of stopper on the end of your hook will stop them all falling like lemmings off the end here. It is possible, but of course using a longer hook would make your life easier if you're more comfortable with a longer hook. Personally, I prefer the shorter one, so I'm willing to wrestle a little bit with the loops themselves. So the shawl itself is long. You can make it as long as you wish by repeating the chart A as long as you wish. This one is 43 repeats long, but as long as you do multiples of 3 more or less, you will be absolutely fine with the mats for the shawl itself. The second part is this lace edging here. This is chart B, and that is worked in columns off the edge of the fabric that you've created already. So while this is done independently, this one, the end of each of your Tunisian crochet columns or rows, depending on which way you look at it, will be attached to the fabric you've created already. So bear that in mind when we get to that part of the shawl. Now this, as I say, is just video number 1, and you'll see video number 2 linked in the description below as well. And I do hope you join me for that. And of course, you will find a link to the yarn and to my patterns on my website on there as well. See you in part number 2.